You are listening to Viewpoints from Place Cloud. Cultural researchers tell stories of places from around the world. For the full multimedia experience and to support the creators you enjoy, visit placecloud.io.
The Big Seven Cemeteries are 7 large Victorian cemeteries built throughout London to move the dead out of the center of the city. All of them are very atmospheric and gothic, but 2 of them became a sort of star among horror films. One, Highgate Cemetery, is well known and visited, and in fact you can buy tickets for a tour of the West Cemetery, and Kensal Green is the other. Amazing actors like Vincent Price, Mia Farrow, Charlton Heston have all wound their way through Kensal Green's pathways and beautiful headstones to bring a wide variety of fascinating horror stories to the silver screen. The most dramatic, perhaps, is a scene in the 1972 horror Theatre of Blood, when a group of theatre critics come to Kensal Green to mourn the loss of one of their colleagues. A somber mood fills the air in front of the Anglican chapel as black cars unload black-clad mourners for a funeral. As they proceed towards the chapel, a runaway horse gallops by the party, dragging behind it the body of another critic, Hector Snipe. The brutal theatrical murder is one in a series where each critic is killed in the manner of Shakespeare. Hector's death mirrors that of Achilles in Shakespeare's bloodiest play, Troilus and Cressida. In a quieter scene, inside the Anglican chapel, a devastated daughter comes to mourn her father at an elaborate tombstone. She is the daughter of famed Shakespearean actor Edward Lionheart, played by Vincent Price, who committed suicide after the same group of critics destroyed his career. The deaths, as you may have guessed, are no coincidence. This Shakespearean actor is behind them in some way. If you watch the scene very carefully, you may notice that Price appears in the scene, very much alive as he is orchestrating the cruel death of Snipe. In a much more gently eerie horror film, The Molyneux Monument in Kensal Green is the headstone of troubled young woman Censi's mother in the surreal 1968 horror film Secret Ceremony. The film follows troubled young Censi, played by Mia Farrow, who befriends a prostitute, played by Elizabeth Taylor, who bears an uncanny resemblance to Censi's mother. Though the 2 women initially make a strange attempt at creating a family, Censi's father, played by Robert Mitchum, appears to disrupt the balance. In a scene set in Kensal Green Cemetery, Censi follows her estranged father while hiding among the headstones. She overhears him discuss a plan with her aunts on how to take over Censi's inherited fortune. As she watches her father put flowers on the foot of the Molyneux grave, which in the film is supposed to belong to her mother, she discovers that everything she has thought was friendship is an act of betrayal. The strange action of respect to the mother while slandering the daughter upsets Censi, who runs back home unnoticed by her family. Located in the southeastern part of the cemetery, a less grand headstone is the burial site of Jane Turner, played by Susanna York, in the 1980 mummy horror The Awakening. Jane is killed by unseen forces that surround a mysterious tomb and an ancient Egyptian queen, dug up by Jane's partner, Matthew Corbick, who's played by Charlton Heston. Corbick arranges his partner's funeral here at Kensal Green, but he spends the entire funeral obsessing over the possibility that the Egyptian queen's power is growing. He's conflicted by his attraction to the queen's power and his fear of it. After the burial, he walks the paths here at the cemetery with a friend who advises Matthew to abandon this obsession. But a day later, Corbick decides to perform a ceremony attempting to raise the Egyptian queen from the dead. Though the horror films we've discussed take place in the east part of the cemetery, please take time to tour the entirety of Kensal Green. In addition to its interesting history, it may bring to mind many of the non-horror films that are shot here, like the 1970 Secret of Dorian Gray or the video for Pink Floyd's The Wall.